Okay, so now we're live. So go introduce yourself and tell them what they're seeing.
I don't know if they can hear you so well, but I guess you're right by the computer, so maybe they can.
Nope, because that's the live mic,
Okay,
not that.
well, we are here at 3 Year Studios, and we figured since I'm doing so much crafting, we might as well just go live and show you how it's done. This is Lena, and Stuart is here helping me. This is Wednesday, so it's also our board game night. You might hear some players in the background playing different board games.
Let me flip this camera around.
And also, we have our Cinemuffin here who's trying to eat my cords.
Don't eat those cords.
Can they see her? You want to make sure that you are in a well ventilated area because we are going to be working with resin today. So, and also wear gloves whenever you're working with resin. We are going to be making real fruit jewelry as well as some fake sweets accessories. Can you get Muffin? She is trying to eat the cords. She needs a shorter leash. Sorry, our little shop dog, who is absolutely adorable, is just wanting to be a distraction.
Dog.
Okay, that's the top of her head. You could go to our website and our Instagram page probably would be better. 3 Year Studios Instagram page if you want to see photos of our most adorable mascot. Maybe Stuart
Oh, I know how. Just
can you flip that up? Let's see if we could get a little cameo. Muffin cameo.
muffin.
Yeah, there's our little shop dog. Her name is Cinemuffin, the bringer of joy, the eater of cords, the chaser of bugs and squirrels. She is absolutely adorable. And she's only 5 months old. Okay, so we got a lot of crafts to do. You can see
Hold this down.
our craft table here is kind of a mess because we've got all of these things that we are working on. These are dried strawberries, and what I did was coat it in resin, front side and back side. I added a little bit of this fine embossing glitter just because I really like the color of this glitter. Then I added a dried hydrangea petal and a Swarovski crystal because bling. And then on the back, I added these little plastic, I don't know what they're called, but they allow you to put a chain through. If you can see it,
Little plastic
it's kind of
eyes.
hard to see. Yes. So this will allow it to be able to hang. Alternately, you could drill a hole just through the strawberry here and put like a jump ring through it. So these are almost done, but not quite. Another thing that we're going to be working on is our fake sweets. So we have waffles and a variety of ice cream that we made earlier from a mold. The mold actually is this. You just get your air dry polymer clay, you can mix some colorant into it, and then you can make tons of different ice creams like got some here already made. And you just pop it into this mold, let it sit not even a minute, and just pop it out, let it air dry. I would say overnight. Um, I'm using the back side because I don't have a silicone plate. So we're actually probably going to end up using these. So I'm going to leave that out. But the idea is to have little accessories like this that can hang as a pendant. And I also like to put little Swarovski crystals on this as well on the side. This is kind of a purple lavender ice cream with a nice little doily. Unfortunately, I can't show you how I made the doilies because I don't have the mold, but I can tell you how I did it. It is air dried clay that I mixed with water to make a really fine paste. And there was a silicone mold that I used. I think people use it with chocolate. And actually, I found it in Michael's, and you can just pour it in there and scrape it off so it gets in all the cracks. Let it dry, and it'll come out like this. So yeah, there's different heart-shaped ones. I think they came out pretty well. These little doilies. The one that I'm gonna be using, I really like the most is the little circle-shaped ones like this. And I'm just putting resin on the front side and back side of it so that I can then add the waffle and some ice cream, probably this one, and it'll be like so, like that. So I'm not sure, maybe a more Rocky Road ice cream or more butterscotchy ice cream. Yeah, I think I'll use that one. So I'm going to put in another layer of resin, then use a toothpick to spread it to the edges. There are a few air bubbles, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. Then I'm going to take the waffle, put some resin on the back, and just kind of squish it on there. Now it's time for the ice cream. Just going to put some resin on this. I want to thank Bridget for helping me get this ice cream done.
Our fantastic little nibbling.
Then we're just going to push it in. After which we'll probably embellish it later. I'm just going to stick this in the UV lamp, and it probably will take about maybe even 10 minutes. I'm going to kind of push it with the toothpick to get it centered. And that's going to go in the UV lamp. I can show you what the lamp looks like. Yep, going to go in there. Huh? And I'm going to take out one of the strawberries that I've been working on. I'm going to pop this guy in like the easy bake oven. Okay.
I was just gonna try to adjust it so they could see the thing
Yeah, if
better.
you adjust it, that's better because I'm going to get resin on these gloves and then I don't want to get resin on the
Yeah, and I usually go with
contraption.
a.
Wish I had a light though. Okay, so this one I added the paper bee that Stuart is working on,
Yeah, I'm cutting bees.
and it looks like this. Yep.
Another bee.
So this is pretty much ready, but it needs to have one of the little plastic doohickeys to be put on the back so that you will be able to hang it. So on this side, I'm just going to put another coat of resin. Make sure you cap it. Then I'm going to get,
Because you forget all the
I
time.
always forget to cap that. But you don't want to be breathing in the fumes. So again, if you're playing with or working with resin, make sure it's in a well ventilated area. And then just spread that out. Make sure you get the edges, but be careful not to go over the edges.
That's like coloring outside the lines.
hmm It can make kind of a not good effect if you go over the edge, because then some of the resin will get onto the front side and it just won't look good since we already kind of decorated the front. Okay. And get the little clip, stick it in, try to make sure it's centered as much as possible. I'm going to put some resin on top of it. Okay. Then we're going to stick this into the UV lamp. It may or may not need another coat. I'm thinking it probably will need another coat of
It's a light
resin.
kiln.
Yes, in the light kiln or the easy bake oven. Then we are going to, actually, I'm going to use this silicone slab here so I can work on this.
What's on the other side of that silicone slab?
Hmm?
What's on the other side of that silicone slab?
A mold for some skull hands. These would make really cute resin or clay hair clips for Halloween, and that's the reason why I got them, but I didn't really get a chance to use it. You want to make sure that it's clean though, and there's a little bit of dirt on here. I'm gonna have to get some dirt. Would you mind getting some packing tape? That's the easiest way I know how to clean these off is with some packing tape.
Okay.
Also, the easiest way to clear off glitter is just tape it up. We're gonna do some more ice cream. We're gonna do some more of these strawberries.
Wait, you want to get up on my chair? Oh, look, another bee.
Yay! I think I'm going to.
I think I just lost my chair.
Yeah. So there's so many things to work on. I would like to make strawberry ice cream waffle.
Do you want this to be circled off into a loop?
I just want to get this cleaned up.
Here you go.
Yep. Tape is like magic. It just cleans it right up in 2 seconds. Be careful because it can also ruin your gloves. Yeah, okay. It's also good for getting up dust and hair and all those little things that can get into your projects. Thank you. Okay, so I want to do the, the front side of this and the front side of this one. Front side of that Queen's Anne lace would be so beautiful on these. I've used Queen's Anne lace before and it's pretty abundant right now. But because I don't have any Queen's Anne lace, I've just been using the dried press hydrangeas, which also are really pretty. But yeah, you can use any dried pressed flower that you like.
Uh, That's what you get for trying to dig up that chair.
I just really like the effect of hydrangeas. So I'm going to put a thin coat of resin on the front. Smooth it out. Sometimes this takes 2 or 3 coats, which
Is that
is
better?
why making these can be a little bit tedious. There may be more than one way to do this, but this is the way I know how to do it. I usually start with a really thin first layer on the front side and the back side. It does have a tendency, because they are so thin, to kind of buckle. You can get like a heavy book and kind of sandwich it between something heavy. Okay.
Is that what you were using the D&D books for?
Yes. But I had it between 2 silicone slabs. So the book was safe.
The one thing she uses D&D books for.
It was the heaviest book in the shop.
The one thing she uses D&D books for.
Those D&D books get really heavy.
You know what gets heavier?
What?
Pathfinder books.
Oh man. Guess I need some of those.
They're like 2 books. The core book is like 2 books in one.
Wow. Why is the Pathfinder book so thick?
Well, because they combine 2 books and put them in one tome. So it's both Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide all in one book.
Hmm.
And then they do about a half dozen monster manuals.
Wow. Are there monsters similar to the D&D monsters? Do they have like one monster, like say D&D has those what is it
If it's
called,
not,
mind flayers or something?
yeah, if it's not the same, they have things that are close variants. Do you want me to cut out more bees?
Um, how many bees do we
I
have?
have 3 bees.
I'm gonna put one of the bees on here.
Do you want a swarm?
What do you mean a swarm?
Hey, do you want me to just keep on cutting out as many as I can?
Can you hand me one of those bees? I'm gonna actually use one of
Here's
them
a bee.
in here.
Here.
So these are paper bees from a local small business here in the Savage Mill called the Queen's Ink. They have lots of really great paper, and I really like to use them in the crafts. It's very convenient. You can just cut them out and have little bees in your crafts. Paper craft. And I'm going to put it on the flower like so. Make sure you coat the front and the back. Being a little bit stubborn. There it goes. Okay. This side might also need another layer of resin. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna put the bee up there. No, I think he looks better on the flower. Push him back on the flower.
Where did you learn how to craft like this?
You know, someone asked me that earlier today. Some of it is just experimenting, seeing things on um, like Instagram, and saying, "Hey, I think I could make that," and then trying to see if you and can do your own spin on it. um, yeah, I think a lot of crafting is like that, where you're just experiment with even some materials you have around that are handy to you.
How much did your time in Japan help your crafting?
Are you interviewing me?
I'm trying to get you to chat about yourself while people are watching you. Lena has a live mic, just so you know.
Yeah, Muffin has been so good today.
You didn't say that out loud, did you?
Huh?
You said that out loud.
Yeah,
That's because
it's fine. It's
That's
a
because
live
she's been
stream.
with me most of the day.
But if you put Cinnamon on the floor, she's like, I'm trying to eat everything. Like the cord, the wires. She will when she doesn't get her way.
Or when she wants to play.
Mostly when she doesn't get her way.
So what's your toy of choice?
Hmm?
Does she have a favorite toy?
Oh, she's got tons of toys. Tons of toys. I was just telling Stuart today how I wanted to take a photo of her and your bears
Oh, I know.
and see if anybody would recognize the
Where it's hard.
actual animal in there. Sometimes when she's just laying there at like still,
Here. Or
it's
they
like
just put it right in with them.
yeah, her eyes will like move, and that's how you know she's a real dog.
Can you open your mouth to me? You can't bite my finger.
That's how you know she cares.
Muffin is a finger biter. She will bite. I think that's her favorite toy.
Which
His
one?
fingers.
His fingers.
She also really likes beanbag things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she loves the dryer ball. I don't even know. That's
She can't
like
even pick up the thing,
she
but
can't
loves
pick it up. Yep. If you have a dryer ball and a dog, cheapest dog toy ever.
Cutest dog ever.
I don't know. My cousin has dogs that love plastic bottles.
A lot of the dogs.
Oh yeah.
Small for them. You have to find
Stuart
a-
likes plastic. Stuart.
Yeah, you just
Muffin
flatten
likes
it, and
plastic
then
bottles.
she can get her mouth around it. What's that? What's that?
I saw a thing where it said you could put the plastic bottle in like a sock and tie the end, and that makes a good dog toy.
Okay, I got 3 bees
I'm gonna need at least one
I
of
got three
those
bees.
bees.
because Lena wants me to cut out paper bees.
Paper bees. I got from the Queen's Ink.
Here's another one. I gotta cut that one too.
I think this side is done. Oh.
How long does it take it to dry?
Repeat the question so
I
that
try
they can hear you.
to have them dry at least 24 hours after I take them out of here, and then connect them to
How's it going?
the fixtures, like the metal stuff.
How do you like the style of that card?
Huh?
Do you like that style of that card?
It has been very convenient, but I feel like we need a million of them. He has one, I have one, and I'm just like, I have too much stuff. It still needs more. But some of these
Look at these.
are
What are these gonna?
gonna be
Oh,
earrings.
thank you. Okay.
That's the back side.
Very cool.
So those hanging is the on the metal thing. That's the that's what hopefully those are gonna be.
This is so cool.
These are gonna be some necklaces,
Did you like quartz with them or did you change?
chains like gold. I have some gold chains that I want to use for these.
Well, you do go up.
Thanks. Yeah, tomorrow, just a couple days, not too long. Yeah. Thank you. Look at Muffin. She's been so good. You're being so good. Are you gonna make it your show, Miss Muffin? You gonna make it the Muffin Show? Why is she so cute? I could just leave it up here. Just let you guys watch Muffin.
So this is Cinnamon. She is the store mascot. She's usually here.
Okay, back to business. I had to take a glove off so I could show one of the shop owners the earrings that I'm working on, which are going to be these little dangly strawberries with the Swarovski crystal. They look like so. I'll show more when I get done. They're still kind of work in progress. Everything's a work in progress all the time. But I'm really, really, really happy with how these strawberries look. They look amazing. I feel like the profits that I use from the sales of these items will go into the shop. And right now, I really want to get some really adorable plushies. They're so cute. I think they're called like squishamals, something like that. I'm gonna take off my gloves because it's a little bit easier for me to work without them. Yeah. I think I'm gonna actually use a whole little sprig. I want each one to be slightly different. These are very, very fragile, by the way. I think this, even though it's hydrangea, it kind of looks like baby's breath. So I'm gonna I'm gonna stick it on this slab, coat it in the resin, then put it on the strawberry. This kind of helps to prevent air bubbles, which I don't really have that much of a problem with air bubbles, but you don't really want a lot of air bubbles, that's for sure. Especially when you're working with things like this, only because the air bubbles can make your strawberries turn dark. We want them to stay nice and vibrant as long as possible, which is another reason why they should be coated very well. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna add a Swarovski crystal with my pliers, just because it makes it easy to grasp. I'm gonna stick that in the middle there. Stick that in the middle here. I'm gonna get a paper B. Stick it on here. Gonna coat it with the UV resin. And we'll just place this B, I think, right here.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I think here would be a good place for that B to go. I really like the way this hydrangea looks. I'm gonna pluck one of these and stick it here. And then I'll put it on here. These are going to be available in the Mount Airy Commons hopefully pretty soon. And that is in Mount Airy, Maryland. We have a little pop up there where you can buy some tabletop games and accessories. And now you'll be able to get some of my jewelry. We did have a small selection of my dice jewelry there, but now we're going to be able to expand and get a bit more. So we're going to stick
But
that.
we need to make more dice jewelry.
We really do need more dice jewelry. I made some where the dice are in cages on a black strap. Those are the easiest to make. Um, the ones that are a little bit more intricate, I haven't really gotten around to making more of those, which I really, really want to do.
Well, what's
Because,
nice about the fact
especially,
that they're in cages?
excuse me, huh?
What's the nice thing about them being in
Oh,
cages?
because cages are usually used in crystal jewelry. People will take out their different types of crystal depending on what their, I guess, needs are. They will swap them out. And that is also the idea around the dice jewelry because you can take the D20 out of its cage and replace it with a different one.
Or pop it out for that impromptu game of D&D that happens at the coffee shop.
Or if you need to, yeah, make some decisions, you can pop it out and roll it. It could do turn order for your tabletop game.
Turn order for your meeting.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah,
You'll always have a D20 for your turn order.
in middle of a business meeting, and then sit there and it's like, okay, everyone wants to talk. Everyone, roll a D20. Give me initiative.
Okay. I think you're looking for stuff to do, huh?
Well, I just cut another bee. I'm just cutting bees until you tell me something else to do.
Do you have a paint palette?
You mean a paper plate?
I think I was using that napkin, but yeah, paper plate would be good because what I wanted to do was put some this color. This is this waffle. I want to put it like some drizzle onto this one so that it looks similar. Though this is a little bit brighter than that. I think maybe yellow honeycomb. And then I could even put a paper bee on it. Pretend like it's like honey ice cream.
So you want me to paint on some drizzle?
Like, you see how Bridget did it?
How'd you mix that? Just mix it in with a
I think what she did was just put the color directly onto it. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make the colorant in here with some resin. So this was my honeycomb mold that kind of decided it wanted to break on me, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to get another one. My favorite way to color that mold to make this beautiful honey golden color was to use this yellow gold soap dye. It's a mica powder. And I just use one of these little tiny spoons to scoop it out. I don't want to use too much because if it's too dark, it might have some trouble with curing. But I find this makes really good honey. Yeah, so that'll be enough. So I'm gonna make some honey, and some of this honey can go on some of the other ice cream. I don't think we need paint anymore because this is gonna be the paint. So I'm just gonna mix that in there. Probably should have used the other side though, because we're gonna need some more. You can mix like Elmer's glue with acrylic paint, and that also makes a really nice like chocolate sauce or strawberry sauce or whatever sauce you're needing for your fake sweets. And then you could go over it with like a gloss varnish or even a UV resin to get it shiny. That's a really pretty yellow. We're going to actually this side didn't cure all the way, so I'm gonna actually pop that back into the lamp so that it can cure more. Probably, yeah, it will take a little bit longer than I thought it would take.
So you know what kind of like artisanal culture.
And then I'm gonna need a
But she makes
paper
these
towel.
candles herself, and we order them to
Yeah, resin can get so messy. Okay, so we've got
B20 soaked over there.
to get the back onto this one. The back is on that. I think I want paper B on it though. I want Swarovski crystal and some bling inside of that one. That still needs stuff. Basically everything needs stuff. This one has a little bit of resin coming off of it. I'm just gonna cut it off with some scissors though, because it's so thin. It's that thin. You can just cut it right off. Yeah.
And tonight,
And that's all I've got.
Saturday night,
That's the end of my turn on trash
come
talk.
and play any game in our library, or
I'm seeing. Very good ceremony. Yeah, not all what I was expecting to do. Security officer.
there's a few around here too. So if you go down to college,
Let's see. Some strawberry.
Of course, if we did that, we
I
would
think
be able
this
to
is a little bit
we'd have to
too
keep the store mascot a little bit more contained.
big. I'm just gonna cut around it. Actually, no, I think I'll leave it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it
This is Cinnamon.
and just resin the doily.
Definitely ties into the plus that sometimes dishes aren't enough. You must fight this. She's 5 months, which is why she still got that soft puppy heart. She is a poodle.
And then we're gonna spread it out.
You want down now?
This one is so thin it's probably gonna warp, so I might have to stick it between two silicone plates and a big heavy D&D book because we don't have a big heavy Pathfinder book. But we'll see after this first coat.
That's just the trick we're working on, being able to dance on high mics. Take a look around. If you have any questions, fire away. And so you know, while the mic doesn't have a long range, she's on a live mic.
Yep. Yeah, I think at times like these, being able to go into like the shop nearby. Try to smush it down so it doesn't
You
push
said
back
you
up.
wanted me to paint with some stuff?
I did, but the back wasn't completely dry, and so I stuck it back into the in there. And now I'm trying to think of what you could do to help. I really don't know. We're like on. So for me, crafting comes in 3 stages. One where you're making your creations, whether you're popping them into the mold or coating it in resin. And then step 2 is assembling, and we're on step 2. A lot of assembly to do. And then step 3 is like where you're packaging it all up.
And she doesn't trust me to do step 2.
The step 2 is there's only one lamp.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I have an idea.
Keep on running.
I think this is a step that Bridget wanted to do.
Have a good day.
Can you clear this off? And then we can start maybe doing some of the waffles.
Start assembling the waffles.
Yeah. So they are like this one and this one. And we're gonna try to make some of
How clean does
these
this have to be?
guys. I don't know, clean-ish. I don't know.
I think I need new tape.
I think we need a bigger lamp.
How's the game going?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Hey, muffin stuffing.
You guys want to try another game of this? Or you want to try something else?
She's so cute. Is it her dinner time?
Not that she has any food here.
She doesn't?
No,
Oh,
she's gonna have to wait until we go home to eat.
she's hungry.
I'm sure she is. 7 o'clock her dinner time. Means that she's gonna be really hungry when she gets home, and she might actually eat.
Yeah, now that we know what we're doing,
I feel bad she doesn't have her food here.
You want to keep on running and me run her home? She's doing fine.
I guess it'll be okay. But this is what I meant about trying not to get the resin off of the side, because then you'll get
Move it that
this.
way a little bit.
You'll get.
Remember,
I don't know
it
if you
goes
can
out of-
see it.
there's an ideal focus zone.
It's kind of hard to show that
Yeah.
effect where you
Because if
get.
you hold it
What's
too,
it called? What do you think? How would you describe that?
I mean,
I was
when,
resining the bag, and that's
when you're
fine.
dealing
but-
with injected molded miniatures, and that's usually called flashing, and you get to cut it off with a knife.
Yeah, so that might be what I have to do is cut it off with a knife. I'm gonna stick this in the lamp. I don't think it's dry enough.
I'm actually getting hungry too. And after I clean this, before I hate sticky hands.
So, great combat.
That's why we have paper towels. You definitely would not like playing with resin if you don't like to get your hands sticky. But if you want, here's some gloves.
I like gloves less. Choice between two evils: gloves or sticky fingers.
Can you hand me that box? I have some like gears and things, and I want to embellish this honeycomb.
Here's the box.
No.
What do you do to fix that? Did you say you put some,
Cut it with a knife,
cut it with a knife?
or file it down with a file.
Yeah, so when that happens, it is fixable, but it's kind of frustrating. So
Or you make it look like it's purposeful.
yeah, sometimes I'll even cover it up. I'll put a flower over it or a bee.
Yeah, there's lots of options.
Yeah. I hope these sell well. I'm gonna keep that. I might have another idea for that one's use.
Yep. So this is actually a derivation of the original game.
I think because it's so big, it just wants to kind of not be flat. Okay, honeycomb. I'm going to add like a Swarovski crystal. I'm just gonna do another coat of resin over top of this. We're gonna put some things inside of the cells. Random things, random fun things. So things like gears, crystals, maybe even more flowers. Who knows? It is up to your imagination. Because I was experimenting, I usually don't use such a huge flower, but I just decided, what the heck? Let's see what it does with a giant flower. I think it actually looks pretty interesting. Okay, let's see if I have some things to put inside those things. Oh, I forgot I had these. I'm gonna make some flower earrings. Totally gonna make some flower earrings. I forgot about those guys. Love them. Hold on a moment.